Welcome to our preview show for the race meeting on the Polytrack at Fairview Racecourse on Friday, the 7th of July. 9 races on the card. The first race, early start, 11:25. The bipot gets underway with race 2, the place accumulator race 3, and so on and so forth, as is always the case with a 9-race card. And, as usual, I'm joined on the line for our Fairview preview by Grant Paddock. How's it, Grant? All good on your side?
Yeah, morning Graham, morning punters. Yeah, all good. Weather good down here for a change. Hopefully a decent day.
Yeah, I did check out the weather forecast. Nice to see that there's a complete absence of rain, so we look forward to a good day's racing. Let's get straight into it. As we said, first of 9 off at 11:25, not part of the exotics, but we'd like to try and start off with a winner. And it's a maiden juvenile plate for fillies over 1,000 metres. Now, number 5, Peace Frog, looks to be your strong selection in race 1.
Yeah, Graham, very good introduction to PE racing and to the Poly. Really good run, just got tired late over the 1,200. Back a furlong from a 1 draw with Kumala up in a stable that's really banging form at the right time of the season. I make Peace Frog my best bet on the card, and I thought 2-1 was quite generous.
Okay, so obviously the first race, only 8 runners. Not easy to get money out of the quartets and trifectas, but obviously maybe banker number 5, Peace Frog, to win in both the trifectas and quartets. Your second, third and fourth selections?
Graham, Swift Wing, good last run, back in trip will suit. The 1 horse, Bellatrice, has been there and thereabouts, and the 7 horse, Lady in Love, she really didn't enjoy the Poly last time out and back on the surface. I put her in the back end of quartets. I still make this horse Peace Frog very, very hard to beat.
So we're going with a strike in the first race, the first of 9 races. Number 5, Peace Frog, is a confident first choice from Grant Paddock. But let's move on to race 2, which is an open maiden, which is another word for a maiden handicap of sorts. It's over 1,200 metres. It goes at 11:55. So this is the first leg of the bipot. What do you make of it, Grant?
Very tricky race, being a handicap, obviously. Graham, I've gone for the new horse that's in Port Elizabeth, Masaba, the 8 horse from the Gavin Smith yard, a blinker strike. And when she ran third to Unyielding, there was a horse called Ida Bell who ran second. That came out and won on Monday by about 3 or 4 lengths. So I'm going Masaba at a nice galloping way to win it. From Western Jack, the 2, Miraculous Man, the 1, and the 4 to Hollywood Star to finish up the quartets. But I like the 8 here. I think it's the right horse in the race. It doesn't have to be too good to win a very shallow race.
And of course, it doesn't do any harm that the progeny of Visionaire tend to go really well on the Polytrack surface, both in Port Elizabeth and here in KwaZulu-Natal, Grant.
100%. They do extremely, extremely well on the Poly.
Race 3 is the first leg of the place accumulator. It's off at 12:25. It's a maiden plate over 1,600 metres. Let's have a look at the betting here. Number 6, Fiery Cliffs, is at 2-1. Number 1, American Dazzler, is at 5-1. Number 2, Twice a Saint, and number 10, Guerra. They both at 11-2. Number 5, Bo Kala, is at 7-1. And 9, Follow the Band, is at 8-1. Those are the runners quoted in single figures. Fiery Cliffs, thus, a very strong favourite. Once again, it's the Simunga Kumalo Gavin Smith combination. What do you make of the opening leg of the place accumulator? How many do we need to get through?
We're going to need a few here, Graham. A tricky kind of a race. I am in the camp of Fiery Cliffs, but she's had enough chances there as well. She's done nothing wrong, really. She's earned all the time, and she was stiff last time to go down a short head. Stable's in form, as I said, so she's probably my top runner. Bo Kala, interesting, showing very, very good work at home. Had a couple of decent gallops and a big runner, no doubt. And then the likes of American Dazzler and Twice a Saint. Twice a Saint ran on Monday. We've got to take her well-being into account. But American Dazzler also on the improve. And then the youngster, Guerra. I think we can't get away with less than those 5. But my top pick is definitely Fiery Cliffs.
So a very competitive start to the place accumulator. This maiden plate over 1,600 metres, as Grant mentioned. Always interesting when a Cape horse moves into the province in the Eastern Cape, and Bo Kala is doing just that. Interesting to hear that Grant says that this daughter of Elusive Fort, bred by Peter de Beyer, is working up a storm. So take note of those comments, but certainly on form, number 6, Fiery Cliffs, Grant's first selection is the one to beat. So we move on to the opening leg of the pick 6. It's an MR66 handicap over 1,600 metres. The opening leg of the pick 6 is due off at 1:05. Let's have a look at the latest betting. The favourite is number 3, Green Falcon, at 28-10. He's been a model of consistency since moving into the Eastern Cape. Then we've got number 4, Windsock at 5-1. Number 6, St. Anastasia at 6-1. Number 9, Timbavati River, 7-1. 2 runners at 8-1. Then numbers 8, Manera, and number 10, Grand Destiny. The rest are all in double figures. This does not look an easy start to the pick 6, Grant.
No, not at all, but it's not overly difficult as well, Graham. You know, this was Green Falcon has done absolutely nothing wrong. A very, very good last run to get beaten by Silvery Blue, 2.25, but he came from a bad draw. He's got a much better draw this time, and he's really holding consistency since his maiden win. He's run 2 very good runs. But he probably looks like the right horse. The likes of St. Anastasia's got to go in. She's holding solid form now. She's back to her best. A good last run, and she's well drawn. Grand Destiny at a nice price, very inconvenienced last time out. She could have got a lot closer, only got beaten 1.6 over the 1,400. The mile will definitely suit, unfortunately drawn out at 10. And then a horse like Windsock is holding solid form, but the question mark there has to be him going the mile. He has tried it twice, and his best was ahead in Johannesburg, so he probably could get it, but he's been doing better over slightly shorter. I'm in the camp of Green Falcon. I think he could get it right.
Race 5 is the first leg of Jackpot 1. It's an MR66 handicap over the minimum trip over 1,000 metres. Reminder that we are, of course, on the poly track, and they go real quick in the Eastern Cape, as Grant keeps reminding us, and certainly over 1,000 metres they tend to fly all the way. And scratched here is number 5, Siberian Fox. That's our only scratching thus far on the card. A reminder that, of course, we do record on the Thursday morning prior to race day, so check your card changes, etc., as we approach race time. This is wide open as far as the betting is concerned. Number 1, Explicit Content, is at 4-1. Number 2, Quick Count, is at 9-2. Number 4, Mr. Bodacious, is at 5-1. 8, Miss Rose, is at 9-2. Number 9, Call Me Mr. Greenlight, is at 8-1. And 6, Spanish Fort, at 9-1. The rest are in double figures. Again, Grant, we confronted with an MR66 handicap, which the warning flags always go up in these low-grade handicaps, and the betting suggests that this is very, very competitive.
Yeah, Graham, very, very competitive. I must tell you, not easy race. I am hearing a lot for the one horse here, the 2-year-old of 60 kilograms from an 8 draw. So it's not going to be easy for him, I believe. I hear a lot of talk for him, but I'll make it a very open race. Jackson, Mississippi's got a decent chance. Miss Rose from a good draw, strong front runner, and then Call Me Mr. Greenlight, who finishes his race off very well. Hunters, unfortunately, have to go wide in this race and add in as many as possible. Even the likes of Quick Count now back to a 5 furlong, which he does enjoy. So, yeah, we're going to have to go wide here, Graham, as wide as the punters can afford.
Yeah, I think I omitted Jackson, Mississippi when I was going through the betting. That's quoted at 11-2, Jackson, Mississippi. Good run behind Call Me Mr. Greenlight last time. And, of course, he renews rivalry with Call Me Mr. Greenlight. I agree with you. I had a good look at this race, Grant. I was always going to be interested to hear what you had to say, but for me, this looked like a typical field race in the opening leg of the jackpot. And this is the one race that does look very, very competitive. Race 6. First leg of Jackpot 2, we do have a 9-race card. It's an FM 78 handicap. Again, we're over the minimum trip of 1,000 metres. And perhaps it doesn't get too much easier. Here, the favourite is number 8, 3 Rocks. And I guess it's a case you're either in the camp of 3 Rocks or you've got to go very deep. 3 Rocks, a 2-year-old daughter of Heavenly Blue, has had 3 starts, ran second on debut, won her last 2, looks to be very progressive. And, of course, it's the powerful Richard Free, Alan Creef combination. Others quoted in the market, 2 Variety Breeze at 15-2. Interesting runner for me, and I'm keen to hear what you have to say in a moment or so. Number 5, Baubles and Beads at 6-1. 6, I Like It Hot, 7-1. 7, Paris Lass is, in fact, the second choice in the market at 15-4. She's also a 2-year-old. And then Glass Shoes at 5-1. 3 Rocks, going to continue the winning vein?
Yeah, Graham, she's very smart filly, this. She really, really is a good filly. I went against her last time out, and she absolutely trotted up. She knows the poly. She's won very well on the poly. One start for one solid win. I'm going to actually say that a person can bank a 3 rocks here. And if we want to go a touch wider, I like it hot and Bobbles and Beat. I think the winner will come from one of those 3. Bobbles and Beat's been running against far stronger, coming off a bit of a layoff. That has been a concern because we've been battling 2 workhorses here and hasn't won a race for 450 days. But I really do think there's a progressive 2-year-old, and I think the punters can bank a 3 rocks.
And if you look at the other 2-year-old, Paris Lass, who's also clearly quite decent, Samanga Kamala and Gavin Smith, but on all known form, there's not much to choose between her and 3 rocks. So you're clearly expecting 3 rocks to convert that form, having had the 2 subsequent starts since being beaten by Paris Lass on her debut.
Yeah, 100%. And Paris Lass also coming back from a 3-month layoff, so she's probably going to be in need of it.
Okay, so 3 rocks is the one. If you're going the field in race 5, then we can possibly bank a number 8, 3 rocks in race 6. Race 7 is our feature. The warmer handicap over 1,800 meters carries prize money of 150,000 rands. And here we've got Wildest Dreams at 3-1. Again, Richard Fourie and Alan Greef. The market leader is number 2, Medalist Tart, Liam Kotwa for Sharon Kotson. That's at 22-10. Then we've got number 1, Unconditional Love at 6-1. Number 3, Double Destiny at 7-1. 7, Aerial View at 8-1. And 5, Definitely Maybe at 8-1. I was quite intrigued to see Definitely Maybe, who's won 2 of the last 3 starts, that generous in the market. But where are you going?
Graham, I'm in your camp. I thought Definitely Maybe is the wrong price, no doubt. She won a good race last time out, but I must tell you the race was running very badly. You know, Wildest Dreams and Aerial View ended up cutting each other's throat the whole way and stopped down the lane. Wasn't the best of rides by both those jocks, I must be very honest with you. And Medalist Start Definitely Maybe came to grab them all late. But I still think she's a progressive horse, and she's got a lovely galloping weight on her back. Wildest Dreams, if they change the tactics, might turn it around on her, but I think the winner will come from one of those 2. Medalist Start's got to have a chance, but I'm a big believer in second run after a layoff, and she's having her second run after a blood suspension. A bit hesitant there, and then Double Destiny to fill up the quartet, but I think the winner will come from either 5 or 6, but 5 definitely the wrong price at 8-1.
Certainly number 5, Definitely Maybe, makes plenty of each way appeal if you can get on at 8-1. Not quite sure what the starting price will be as we approach race time. There could be money for Definitely Maybe because she has as good a chance in the race, as you heard there from Grant, as does the second choice in the market, number 6, Wildest Dreams. Race 8 is the penultimate race. It's the MR78 handicap over 1,400 meters. And number 2, Caitlin's Boy, is the market leader. Drawn in pole position, always crucial on the poly track, and they go 1,400 meters. He's stretching himself in this 1,400 meters. He's been successful over less ground. El Ramiachi finally got his dues. He won last time out, and who knows, he might go back-to-back. That's at 5-1. 4 Cruisadors at 4-1. Number 5, I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, is at 8-1. And 8 Rosa Dorada is 9-1, and 9 On the Road again is 8-1. Caitlin's Boy, the betting suggests he's the one to beat. Is he going to get home over 1,400 meters?
Yeah, that's the question mark, Graham. I'm not too keen on Caitlin's Boy over 1,400. Last time out, there were excuses. He's drawn well, so he's going to have to be up there. If he's going to see it out, I'm not 100% sure. He finished in 23-2, which is half decent. I'm in the camp of the 1. Prince Vian, who's been running against far stronger, loves the poly track. You know, he's been running up in handicaps, top division races, and he's back down to the 78 level. He's carrying the weight, 61.5, but he deserves the weight. And I don't think Caitlin's Boy can get only 1.5. I think he should be any more. Prince Vian for me, El Ramiachi, solid, holds form, soldier of a horse. He should run second. Caitlin's Boy and Rosa Dorada should fill it up. But I think there's a bit of value out there in Prince Vian, and Lunga's Yard is in good form. I think he'll have a decent day.
Jabu Jacobs riding for Lunga Gila, number 1 Prince Vian, grand selection at a big price, I must tell you. So number 1 Prince Vian, the selection to win the 8th race. Maybe Caitlin's Boy, although well drawn, is not going to get home, and expect another big run from the ever consistent El Ramiachi. And now I heard Zeetzman saying the other day Yep, this will be his 14th run already this year in 2023, and that's off the back of 18 runs in 2022. So you heard it there from Grant. El Romiachi is a real soldier. The ninth and last race goes at 16:20. It's a fillies and mares 66 handicap over 1,200 meters. We normally play Dodgem cars in these kind of handicaps, and this one looks no exception. Not many in the betting, and it's very wide. Number 2, Unyielding, at 9-2. Number 3, No Time Is Taken, is 9-1. Number 4, Savage, finally got its maiden win under the belt, the 2-year-old daughter of Lancaster Bomber. I thought plenty more to come perhaps from Savage. That's at 7-1. I know your value bet of the day, and I like it. Number 6, Screw of Ice, at 8-1. Number 7, Commersan's Passion, at 7-1. And the rest are all in double figures. Talk to us about Screw of Ice.
Yeah, I like Screw of Ice here. Graham, no doubt, loves the poly track, had one runner in the poly and won extremely well. And a good race post had beaten 1.95 by 3 Rocks, who I make the banker on the day. Well drawn, Jabu up, as I said, Lunga's Yard in good form. I think there's some lovely value at 8-1. I actually make her the winner of the race. I hear a lot for this horse, Savic, who's just won its maidens. The young horse can only improve. And then No Time Is Taken. I know it's quite fancied by the yard and it's had no kind of a draws in its last 3 runs and finally got a good draw too. So that will definitely be in the money. And then number 2, Unyielding. There, another concern is second run after a long rest and pulled up coughing last time out. That's always a concern, only 11 days out. So I'm actually quite strong on Groove Ice, Graham, and I think there's some very good value at 8-1.
Nice value bets on offer at Fairview on the poly track. We've picked out for you, what have we picked out? Definitely Maybe at 8-1. We've picked out Prince Vian at a big price. And in the last race, we've picked out Groove Ice also at around 8-1. But Grant's chosen bet for the day is the bipot, which starts in race 2. So he'll take us through his bipot and, of course, his best bet and his value bet. So let's kick off with the bipot and then take us through your best bet and the value bets.
All right, Graham, my bipot, first leg 1 and 8, by 1, 5, 6, by 3, 4, 10, by 1, 7, 8, 9, by 6 and 8, by 5 and 6.
So that's the bipot. Your best bet and value bet for the day?
Best bet for the day, race 1, number 5, Peace Frog, and my value bet for the day, race 9, number 6, Screw of Ice.
And having gone through the card with you, if you like Peace Frog, perhaps we can also do the double Peace Frog in race 1 and 3 Rocks in race 6. As always, Grant, thank you very much for your contribution. Happy racing at Fairview under clear skies tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Graham, and goodbye.
Cheers, Grant, and thanks for watching. We trust you have a good day's racing at Fairview this Friday, the 7th of July.